What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to No Face Crypto channel. Where's No Face No Case? You feel me? We're locked in.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
Take the red pill. Take the red pill. Take the red pill.
This motherfucker is locked.
Welcome back to Operation Sam I Am, episode 3.
I had decent number of investors lined up to give me money. Okay? एक महीनामा चाहिँ I'm going to be talking to Aspen Institute भन्ने छ हैन त्यहाँ चाहिँ like a lot of regulators, American regulators that they were all like 50s and 60s हैन त्यो मान्छे हैन तिनीहरुले they have invited me to talk there about what is the future of credit, what is the future of payments if everyone gets started by getting paid by the second. If I can spend 1 hour a day learning about product and what's going, and that can do the same thing as me spending 8 hours a day, why should I spend extra 7 hours? I should be spending that 7 hours building something new things, right? So this is a time busy way around.
To start this video off, we are going to reenact an alleged conversation that took place between Patriot Party and I. Alleged in Minecraft, because this conversation did not want to be put on record. It's alleged, and it never happened. Due to the evidence that I already have, I have enough evidence that it doesn't even matter if this conversation happened or not. But let's just discuss it very quickly. All right, so we have numerous allegations discussing Patriot Party as a spiritual leader of a finance group, Zebec. All right, Patriot Party has claimed to have met with Uphold before, and allegedly in this conversation, he said that allegedly he was working with somebody by the name of Austin Sigsworth at Uphold on the institutional side, which would basically mean that he is an institutional investor. Now, I want you guys to understand something real quick. What is an institutional investor doing in a Discord group giving institutional investment advice, quote unquote, saying this project is great, it has a great future, but then on the public facing podcast, you're just sitting here talking spiritual. You barely even talk about Zebec.
Markets. Well, I always say it's always darkest before the light. So with war, there's a lot of confusion, and that creates confusion in the markets. What you'll see is you'll see oil go up. You'll see precious metals go up. You'll see it can have a major effect on crypto. But what's most important in that fog of war is to just educate yourself, do your own research, know what you hold, so through the darkness you can stand firm.
So why is that? Right? And we questioned that. We pushed it a little bit. And what I can tell you guys is after our conversation, this gentleman now wants to represent himself as an institutional investor. So I guess, better late than never, but it's not going to save you. Because I just showed the evidence. Right? Multiple claims that you are a spiritual leader, right? You're a president of a healthcare company or some health company. I would highly suggest you just go back to your regular job and step away from this stupid little scam that you're running with all your little friends or whatever's going on. Okay? So I want to say again, what institutional investor is on a public-facing podcast, and then meanwhile in the back end, you are pushing people to stake a project, to basically put money into a project that we all know is BS. So you're misleading retail investors, which is a crime. And when we look deeper into it, Uphold is incentivized to make higher returns on exterior transfers. And Zebec just happens to be a staking protocol where you have to move to an exterior wallet. I don't know. It's just some things you just can't ignore, right? So we keep talking, we keep talking, we keep talking. I ask Patriot, allegedly, hey, if I go ahead and verify, if I ask Uphold, when I ask Uphold, is Austin a real person? Is he really in this Discord like you claim? Like, is this, like, what's going on here? Is he a real person? Is he a real representative of Uphold? He could not answer my question, and then he went on to delete the messages later. Switch up his profile. The Discord was dead silent for almost an entire day. So very odd things going on, guys, and that's just how I wanted to get you guys introduced into this video, right? We know there's a bunch of issues with the community surrounding Zebec, the YouTubers pushing bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. None of these guys can stand on 10 toes. The one guy, the alleged spiritual leader of the group, the financial group, wanted to come out and talk to me, and he fumbled. He folded. Clearly. Matter of fact, not so clearly that he changed his bio twice in a night. How crazy is that? So much for a spiritual leader. Right? Why would you have to, why is there a spiritual leader in a financial investment group? You have a vested interest because you're also an institutional investor. You have a vested interest in keeping people spiritually aligned and in your investment. And then you attack people. You and your community, like Lantern. You know, there's a few other individuals that we can name, but then you attack people who sell out of your community because whatever questions get raised and you guys don't want to answer them. You attack people. That is what I call a cult. And, you know, quite honestly, I explained this earlier in my post, right? This is what we call epistemic dominance. I'm at the point now in this investigation where I have the information, right? I have control of the narrative. No matter what type of bots they want to put out there and what they want to tell you guys, that's not true. I now have control of this narrative. So it is very important for you guys to understand what epistemic dominance is, right? Essentially, I am controlling their narrative. They can't do anything without my information coming out because they don't even know what the information is I have. And I'm going to blow this thing wide open by the end of this episode. I'm not sure if we'll even need another one. Okay? Epistemic dominance. Right? Practice what we call, Zebec Network practices what we call epistemicide. It essentially is just a systematic approach, right, to destructing, basically excluding an existing knowledge system, guys. And we can go ahead and look deeper into this, right? Manipulation of evidence. This can involve actively providing, withholding, or framing information to influence the other party's perspective. Context examples include parental controls over children information, cult leaders deceiving followers, or expert-client relationships. A doctor controlling medical information provided to a patient is an example. The dominated party may form false beliefs, lose the ability to justify their own beliefs, or feel disoriented when realizing their knowledge is managed by somebody else. And this is the echo chamber that Zebec lives within. So I'm glad we can establish this. But it is absolutely ridiculous, guys. I just want to make a quick announcement in this video. As we move forward in this investigation from this point on, I've officially put forth an IC3, a comprehensive IC3 report as to what's going on based off of my conversation with Patriot Party. There are some very concerning things concerning Uphold, concerning the entire project as a whole, and we already knew this, but we'll get into that later in the video. These guys are absolutely ridiculous. Now let's get on to cooking up some YouTubers very quickly. Just an easy pastime for me, you know.
Good morning, pirates. I'm Throbbing Lantern, and this is the Zebec Gazette, your trusted pulse on everything Zebec Network on the Zebec Nation podcast. I have Monday morning breaking news for you all from last Thursday, a leap into the stellar unknown. 1400 hours, internal systems flagged an unusual alignment between Zebec's broadcast grid and an external partner node. At the time, executives declined to comment, but sources close to the situation described it as, quote, not just a partnership, a shift in orbit. And no, this is not just another partnership announcement that you scroll past while eating cereal. This one actually does something. Okay, let's go to the tweet announcement with Stellar and Zebec Network. Stellar has selected Zebec as its global stablecoin payroll infrastructure provider for the Stellar ecosystem. Boom.
All right, so obviously if you have half a brain cell, you know this Stellar partnership with Zebec is absolute bullshit. And the only exterior confirmation we kind of got of this was from an account called the Lumexo Stellar Wallet, which is a exterior third-party product that is put onto Stellar. And you can just go ahead and just take a quick look here, right? Lumexo is not owned or operated by Stellar, the Stellar Development Foundation, or Stellar Org. It's an independent third-party project built on Stellar Network as a non-custodial wallet. And so this is the kind of misleading they will do with people. Obviously, if you go back and look, like Zebec did kind of pump on this announcement, and that's just absolute bullshit. It never happened. It's not a real thing. And in addition to this, they have been putting out a kind of old video where Simon decided to interview one of the co-founders of Stellar. And if we want to just take a quicker look at that video, we can. But I'll just tell you guys right now, I feel very suspect that it has a lot of chops and cuts for a 2-minute clip. And I have a feeling that this stuff wasn't said in the order it was actually said, and I don't know, but let's just take a quick look at that as well. But absolutely ridiculous. And this is like the front of Zebec. This is the front. This is what they do. Throbbing Lantern, I'm disappointed in you.
Well, I'm joined today by Boris Reznikov from the Stellar Foundation. Welcome, Boris. We're here at CBOS.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here. Good to see you.
I know you had a long journey in, so good to have you here. What are your first impressions of the conference this year?
All right, what we're going to pay attention to is about the end of the video where they talk about the partnership. This is what the whole community's been using to say that they have a partnership. Look at how many cuts there is here at the end. It's very odd. I don't know. Let's see.
Blockchain.
So a lot of exciting news to come between Zebec and Stellar, I guess, over the next couple of weeks. I mean, we've been working together now for years, but we're about to take this partnership to the next level, which we're very excited about.
Well, we appreciate the partnership.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's weird. I can tell you right now, look. I could be wrong. I want to say this is alleged, but this doesn't, I don't know. Simon also looks off to the side here. It just appears that there's cuts that are made here. I'm not, let's just take another listen.
A lot of exciting news to come between Zebec and Stellar, I guess, over the next couple of weeks, for both of us. So a lot of exciting news to come between Zebec and Stellar.
So pay attention to how many times this camera cuts. And when it cuts, right?
I guess over the next couple of weeks. I mean, we've been working together now for years, but we're about to take this.
So right before he says we've been working together now for years, this thing cuts, which could mean that this isn't actually what he said. Like this is, I'm telling you, there's something weird here. Pay attention. One more time.
I mean, we've been working together now for years, but we're about to take this partnership. I mean, we've been working together now for years, but we're about to take this the next couple of weeks. I mean, we've been working together now.
Who has been working together now for years, right? That could be anybody. This doesn't have to be Stellar. There's a cut right before he says this. So why? Why is that? Right? Can I find the full interview? We'll take a look. Hold on.
I mean, we've been working together now for years, but we're about to take this weeks. I mean, we've been working together now for years, but we're about to take this partnership to the next level, which we're very excited about.
Well, we appreciate the partnership.
Absolutely, yeah.
That doesn't prove anything. This is just weird. I'm telling you.
One pound fish, come on ladies, come on ladies. 1 pound fish, 1 pound fish. Have a look, 1 pound fish. Have a look, 1 pound fish. Very good. 1 pound fish, very cheap. 1 pound fish, 6 4 5 pound, 1 pound each. 6 4 5 pound, 1 pound each. Very good.
Here is an interview between Bree Teresi, another paid shill by Zebec, and Simon Babakani. Now, I want you guys to notice very quickly, I can't stop ignoring it. Simon just looks different in like every video. He just looks different. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're going to take a quick listen to this and you guys will see how ridiculous some of the stuff is. It literally says in the title, drops news on XLM and XRP connection. I mean, this is just, guys, this is getting ridiculous, guys.
Obviously, anyone who follows me knows I'm very interested in XRP. I post a lot about XRP. And with that being said, obviously, I follow Ripple and I see everything that they're doing, all their quiet moves. And it's really interesting. When I came across Zebec and came across you reminded me a lot of Ripple with these very quiet moves that you guys are making and how big of an impact it's going to have in the future. Do people ever tell you this?
We hear it all the time and we're very flattered because Ripple is a pioneer
in our
Yeah.
industry and has led in payments for so many years. We've learned a lot from Ripple. We respect them immensely, and we're excited to be doing more and more with them.
Since they have been a pioneer in the space, how would you say they've influenced you over the years? Maybe how have you learned from them with what they've gone through, obviously with the SEC?
It's a great question. I mean, Ripple and Zebec are tackling similar problems. I mean, Ripple's focus has mostly been institutional and B2B.
Well, we'll just stop this right here, and I'll have you guys know. You know, Ripple, they had their time with the SEC and XRP and all that stuff, and I think it's time Zebec has their time with the SEC as well. Because do you guys remember this message? I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous, guys. This is absolutely just wow. Just peddling this shit. This is what they do. This is their front lines. They peddle this BS, stupid partnerships that don't even make sense, bruh. Okay, yeah. Simon interviewed a co-founder of Stellar at a Cybos event, and he was the one who said ZBCN and Stellar will continue their partnership. And then the co-founder of Stellar said something like nodded or something. That's what happened. We'll find the video. Don't worry. This is ridiculous, guys. It's not a thing. It won't happen. It's a fake pump. This is how they get the liquidity, and just watch it fall back down very slowly, guys. This is how it's done.
That matters because markets don't only move on fundamentals, they also move on friction. If buying something is annoying, fewer people buy it. If buying something is easy, more people at least consider it. That doesn't mean all the people become diamond hands, but it does mean the funnel gets bigger. And in crypto, a bigger funnel can be a very big deal.
What the actual fuck is this guy talking about? I don't pretend like I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm not. I don't pretend like I know everything about crypto. I don't. But what the like, you're clearly just putting together word salad, bro. And these are the type of people that they have representing their community, except for Zach Rector and Jake Claver. We got some questions for them too, but we'll get to that. We're just gonna go all out here because this is just, it's insane to me. You don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Doesn't even know his ass from his right hand. Fucking hell, man.
Now, let's talk about a lot of people skipped over the migration. The migration story is actually bullish. Crypto.com didn't just toss it.
No. The migration story, the 1-to-10 split from ZBC to ZBCN is not bullish. Go ahead on Reddit. I want everyone to go ahead on Reddit. See how he has all this shit prepared. I'm not even prepared, and I'm cooking his ass. Go all the way to Reddit, and what you guys are going to do is look up ZBC to Zebec migration, type in the word Zebec scam, type in Sam Thapalaya scam, type in Simon Babakani scam. You'll see information from 2 to 3 years ago of people calling this shit out, and people upset at the migration. I have evidence in the Telegram of the migration, and how people were upset about it. How you guys didn't make people really fully aware about this. To this day, they are trying to migrate people. What's up? What's up with this? Let's take a listen.
ZBCN on the platform and move on. It supported the migration from ZBC to ZBCN at a 1-to-10 ratio.
So imagine splitting a stock 10 times and you're just getting devalued over and over and over and over. I mean, this was all going on while Nautilus chain nodes were being sold. It's just ridiculous, guys. Sam Thapalaya made 7.5% of $38 million. You do the math.
Eligible use or balance suspended legacy ZBC activity during the transition, then reopen trading deposit withdrawals from ZBCN on the app and exchange. Why is that important? Because it shows operational support. It shows the platform willing to handle the transition cleanly for users. It also helps reinforce that ZBCN is the current live token narrative, not a confusing side version. That kind of
What? Like, what are you talking about, bruh?
Support is good for credibility, especially with retail participants who hate messy tokens. Now let's talk directly to the Zebec holders. That'd be me and you and people who hold Zebec, not people who FUD Zebec and come
Rent free, rent free, rent free once again.
in only when they see this, right? It's weird. Zebec is up 17.3%.
Damn, your computer laggy. Well, let me help you guys out. If you go ahead and take a look, right? Let me find the chart here. Zoom out. A chart is not supposed to go up, down, 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 and trend all the way down. This is like a pogo stick. This is not good. All right. And I'll tell you what happened. They probably pumped $65 million of fake liquidity into Zebec. And some of this is not fake liquidity. Some of this is real people's money who believe that they are partnering with Stellar, which is not true. Again, it is not true. Here is direct evidence and a screenshot of the tokenomics behind Zebec as of yesterday. This was literally last night as of yesterday. When confronting the community on this, they completely just dropped the ball. And I want to let you guys know some breaking news with this right now. So as you can see here, the risk analysis was 54 out of 100. Absolutely terrible. All right. No liquidity locked. 0. Single holder ownership of 21.9%. And we had a top holder percentage of 43%. And we can go back in my videos and look, it used to be much, much lower, guys. This was right after the Stellar announcement that they were doing this. They were pumping the liquidity in. And here was the evidence. I'm glad I took a screenshot because when you go ahead and take a look at bubble maps right now, the metadata is completely cleaned. It's cleared. Missing file metadata. That is a big problem, guys. That is not good. That is not good. And it basically proves to me I'm onto you. And you guys know I'm on to you. So I would suggest just getting away right now. They're actively pumping this project right now. All right. Obviously, in that last clip, you saw that they had around $60 extra million of liquidity in a second. Now we see about $30 million less in liquidity taken out. Where's this liquidity going? Right. And so things are about to get really ugly. I suggest you guys get some popcorn, take a break, use the bathroom. Because when I release this next piece of information, there is no disputing. This is past circumstantial evidence. There is a major problem here with Zebec. Sam Thopalaya is still out there, and something needs to be done about it. After my last investigation, episode 2, Operation Sam I Am, I announced officially that approximately 4:30 p.m. UTC, whatever day I posted this, I walked into an FBI office, and yes, I did, to formally share key findings related to Zebec and associated entities. I made it very clear who I was and why I was there. I was wearing gray sweats and a black shirt, just in case anything happens to me. They know I was there. I have now went forth and submitted the IC3 documents. All right, I am now making 2 of those findings publicly clear, and by the end of this episode, you will have 3 of these findings, guys. The SEC document here, Form D, goes back to an address that does not exist. The most presumable address closest to this is when you just take the word way from Broadway Street. You go to an X post that brings you to some very terrible, terrible things, which is just all the reason to believe that this is not a legit utility company. Why would you even allow this to even happen? And refusal to change this address is a crime. So just I want to make that very clear. Here is the supporting document saying that Kalki Inc. is indeed the operator for Zebec. Right here, platform operator Kalki Inc. out of Delaware. But we know the address is completely messed up. That is a problem. I was also, sent a letter, as you guys know, from the a barrister who has a shady history as well. When walking into the FBI office and showing them this physical letter, they did not like this letter and they want a physical copy sent into the place I walked into. In addition to this, they wanted me to submit the IC3 document with a lot of the things that I know, a lot of my evidence, and I have now done that. So now it is time for me to go max on y'all. I'm absolutely done with this bullshit. You're cooked. You are absolutely cooked. All right?
Please!
No!
Okay, we are cooked.
A big problem, and when you link up with the likes of Uphold, I've been telling you guys this for months and months. When I see Uphold is involved in something, and by the way, they are not an exchange, although you can buy crypto there. They working with these major institutions. But when I see someone working with them, that lets me know that they are legit, because Uphold is as
partnership looks like.
Absolutely, that's a great question. I mean, Uphold is definitely one of Zebec's most valued exchange partners. Uphold and the users of Uphold hold, I think, north of $35 million worth of Zebec's tokens right now. And it's a really good and active holder base. Now, there's a few exciting things that we have planned with Uphold in the coming weeks. So number one is there will be a ZBCN airdrop to certain Uphold users. Look out for an announcement from Uphold on there, but that is going to be planned for sometime in June. So that's super exciting. That's going to get our token into the hands of many great investors and great buyers. Secondly, Zebec will be starting to use Uphold's institutional custody platform for managing part of the ZBCN treasury. Uphold has really built a world-class custody solution and is serving some of the biggest funds and money managers out there. And given our commitment to working with Uphold and growing with Uphold, Zebec will now be one of Uphold's clients on the institutional side. So we're really excited to get that.
Now, allegedly, when confronting Patriot Party about being an institutional investor with Uphold, meeting with Uphold to allegedly promote his podcast. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to be verifying all that information, but being an institutional investor with Uphold, and he didn't even have any knowledge of the treasury situation with Uphold. He didn't even know about the treasury with Uphold. Well, how could that be? That's a little odd, isn't it? And the same thing odd with that is that the same person he claimed to meet with Uphold with is the same guy who said he never had a cold wallet. Now, remember how I told you guys that Uphold is incentivized for exterior transfers, and we have a treasury wallet in Uphold. So no matter what happens with this treasury wallet, Uphold is going to be making money. There is something very wrong here, and we're going to get into it in just a second, but I need to relax before I snap on these guys. Does nobody else find it odd that the Zebec community refers to themselves as pirates? Of all things to be, all things to represent, you represent yourself as pirates. It's like you're secretly stealing money from people. But I digress. I think it's a little ridiculous, though, that we refer to each other as pirates. Weird. Now, because of this, I don't want you guys to get mad at me when I start questioning the treasury. Because as you know, what do pirates love so much? They love treasure. They love treasure, and there's just a lot of synchronicities or synchronicities or whatever the fuck you want to call it here with pirates, stealing, deception, lies, attacks on people who, quite frankly, made a profit on your shitty project and you still attack them. And I'm talking specifically about Saga. Shout out to Saga. Shout out my homie. All right. Big Dog made a profit on this shitcoin. And when he sold, you guys attacked him like as if this is some type of game, some type of cult or something. And this is the type of stuff that makes me go harder. So yes, I'm questioning if pirates have anything to do with the treasury. Duh. I mean, are we being serious here, guys? So what about the treasury?
I got my blunderbuss loaded. Far away in the ship sank. Yar! Catch a landlubber sipping on some whiskey in the tavern, hit his head with a rum flask. Yar! Matey team busy take my blunderbuss and put it to his head and make him run fast. Yar! Captain's last to me like a captain, wanna come on deck see my cannon. Yar! Now the ship is sailing, circumnavigating globes like a Francis. Yar!
Hey there! If you want to find my sunken treasure chest, you'll have to try better than that. So, I was just talking with my brother here, and yeah, you are definitely not getting our sunken treasure chest. Definitely not. Dude, no! They took everything. That was my entire life savings, dude. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh my God, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick. That was everything.
We have already went through multiple reports on this channel before concerning the movement scandal where Sam Thapalai was referenced as a ghost founder, if you will, of the project, or a ghost advisor of the project. And he was pretty much said to kind of always be around in passing, but never really in the building, but he had influence over decisions, and he was CC'd on emails with Rentech, and a lot of weird stuff going on. Understand that he was referenced by multiple people and experts on the situation as a ghost advisor to the situation with Movement, where they took $38 million and went poof. We know that Sam went on to create Zebec, and so on and so on. So why is that information important? Well, you guys are going to have to bear with me here, but let's just take a quick second and understand why I believe Sam is still heavily involved in this project, how I know he is still heavily involved in this project, and he is missing physically, personally, but he is still around. And his Telegram account was active as of about a week ago. So I want to know where Sam is, and I want Sam to answer some questions after I put forth my evidence here. Zebec announced that they are leveling up their treasury operations with Uphold. Zebec is thrilled to announce we are managing our treasury with Uphold Institutional, a trusted partner serving 10 million users consisting of both retail and institutional investors. Uphold is a key partner of Zebec, holding nearly 100 million in Zebec tokens across its retail and institutional wallets. Now, when confronting an institutional investor, Patriot Party, about this, he has no knowledge of the Uphold Treasury, which I found absolutely ridiculous. And I want you guys to keep in mind as well that yes, Uphold makes a lot of money on the fees transferring out of into an external wallet, basically. And essentially, Zebec is a protocol that has a staking feature where you have to put it on their platform. There is a problem. This is a problem. All right, so we know that somewhere around July 14th, etc., July 2025, they announced treasury operations. And we can add that to our timeline, which we might not even need the timeline anymore, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. This thing's about to get blown wide open, but we'll add it anywhere we need to. Just know that their treasury operation gets announced July 2025. Now, we can go ahead and scroll through Zebec's profile and see what was really going on in July 2025, who was at the helm of Zebec in July 2025, and what are the circumstances of this. And when I really start to look into this, you guys are going to understand how crazy this gets. So we scroll, and we go all the way back, and we can see that Simon is mentioned here in June 2025, right before July, as the COO of Zebec Network. Now, this isn't too significant, but it's going to be very important when you guys understand where I'm going here. So right here, the month before they get the Uphold Treasury, we see Simon Babakani named as COO. All right, now stick with me here. This is where stuff gets really, really crazy. Boom. They announce the Uphold Treasury up here somewhere, right? And then we have another announcement right here, July 11th, Simon COO. But July 14th, we get Zebec Uphold Treasury gets officially announced. And what's really, really weird about this is the more you scroll up, right, Treasury gets announced, and then suddenly you'll notice somewhere, July 15th, COO, you go up a little bit longer, and eventually you go up long enough, and you will see that at some point after July, Simon goes ahead and he gets mentioned as the CEO of Zebec. 1 second here. We will find it. Here we go. So we have July, and then in August 20th of 2025, we get a slight announcement in a post here saying Simon Babakani, CEO of Zebec Network. So let me just, so you guys understand the timeline. We have CEO Simon, COO Simon Babakani. Then we have an Uphold Treasury, and then we have CEO Simon Babakani. Is this starting to make kind of sense to you guys? Do you understand why this is weird? Right. Well, let's go just a little bit, another layer deeper when it comes to Uphold Treasuries. Now, the Uphold Treasury Management and user authorize. All right. The Uphold Treasury Management and user authorization rely on strict security, including multi-factor authentication, MFA via apps, government-issued ID verification, and stringent KYC AML checks. For business accounts, authorized officers must provide entity documentation, articles of incorporation, and verify beneficial owners. Key Uphold authorizations and security models include two-factor authentication, KYC, and business entity authorization. So in order to even get authorized as an authorized user on Uphold, you must have access and be behind the business documents. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we start to go past the point of circumstantial evidence into straight, very, very bad looking evidence for Sam, for the Treasury, for everyone involved in Zebec, guys. I need you to go ahead and look at this that's on your screen right now. So when it comes to the Uphold user verification and access hierarchy to the Treasury wallet in terms of authorized users, level 1 and basic initiation is required legal name, verified email, date of birth, phone number. Level 2 is active trading transfers, requires a government issued ID, passport, driver's license, and acceptance of the user agreement. Level 3 is the high volume / advanced, may require a second form of ID to increase transaction thresholds. But the unfortunate thing here is number 4, authorized signers. Business accounts require designated officers, owner, partner, or managers authorized to act on behalf of the entity who must provide formal documentation. Let's take another look at the actual hierarchy of the authorization methods in terms of like the Treasury wallet. Stuff is not good, guys. It says right here, for a corporate or business treasury account with Uphold, the number one authorized user is typically the authorized officer or representative of the entity who established the account. This individual is responsible for the entity's transaction and must satisfy Uphold's due diligence, which only includes verification, authority, and documentation. So they have to provide necessary formation documents and identifying beneficial owners. As of right now, we don't even know who the beneficial owners of Zebec are, and I am looking heavy at ZBCN, man, because I think you are mad suspicious, along with Patriot Party. But this confirms right here that the number one person who would have been authorized user on the Treasury account for Uphold with Zebec at the time literally could only be 2 people, and that is Sam Thapalaya and his brother Sahan Thapalaya, per this BVI agreement. This shit is done with. I'm exposing it all, and I have a lot more coming. This ain't even the end. You guys are not ready. So step away from the project. So let's just step back and summarize for a second where we're at. We know this shit's a scam at this point. I mean, how much of the evidence do I have to show you guys? All the partnerships, it's all BS. And we're going to get into another specific YouTuber or person or influencer later. The Treasury was created at the time. The only person who could have gotten this Treasury created is the people behind the legal structure of the document, of the business. And so you're telling me that at the time of this transaction that took place between Uphold and whoever at Zebec, the number one authorized user would have literally been Sam or Sahan, and we don't even hear about Sahan too much. So Sam, right after this comes out, a few months later, he's mysteriously gone from the CEO position. Yet he would have been the literal number one user, authorized user on the Treasury wallet. Or if he's smart, he put in his brother's name, whatever. Same shit. So what are we actually talking about here, guys? This is breaking news. Absolute waving the flag. Right now, IC3 report is in. Dom Kwok, I need you to listen to me. Do not let these people speak at XRP Las Vegas. This is ridiculous. So hold on. We have a former Ghost founder behind the movement scandal who seems to be a Ghost founder behind the Treasury wallet in Zebec, and now he's completely gone. He's not the CEO anymore. No one's heard from him in months. People don't want to talk about it. They just don't want to get on live. They don't want to talk. They're scared. Yeah, I think we know why now. I think we know why. Crazy.
But getting into Sam, right? So Sam, prior to Zebec, he worked for ASME. And ASME was an AI and analytics company. And he had some patents that he brought over to Zebec.
Sahan Thapalaya also worked for ASME. We'll get into his little interview later. You guys can let me know if you trust him. But here is the working conditions at the headquarters of ASME. Very, okay, interesting. And so you guys let me know if you trust this. I mean, this is why I listen to people like him talk. This is just fucking ridiculous. Like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Look at this. I'm not hating, but this is in India, bro, or Nepal. This is ridiculous. This is insane. Look at this video. This might be Sahan Thapalaya. I'm not even sure. Yo, guys, I'm down the rabbit hole. But let's listen to Sahan Thapalaya actually talk. I want everyone here to keep in mind that Sahan Thapalaya is the VP of products and the co-founder, allegedly, of ASME. So with Sam Thapalaya, this is about to get very interesting. I think we should take a look, see if we can find any videos of him talking. I mean, you guys hear Sam talking in the beginning clip. Let's see if this guy is trustworthy. That's all y'all need to hear, bro. That's literally all y'all need to hear. I think we all need to sit here and think, is this a good idea to have somebody representing this company speak at XRP Las Vegas? I don't understand in what world is this a good idea. It doesn't make sense to me, knowing what I know now. Right? We've got somebody implicated as a co-founder doing all this stuff. He's on the Treasury Wallet, allegedly. And we don't know where he is. He's around, but we don't know where he is. This guy's speaking for him because he's a little bit better of a speaker, a little bit of a smoother talker. And they've now infiltrated XRP and XRP Las Vegas and that community. And I personally disagree with this. I dislike it. And I won't stop. I don't care. Right? I'll make sure everyone who needs to know knows about this. And I am prepared for any situation that is to come of this. And anything that is done from this point will just make things look worse here. And that's all I'll say. And then even as most recently as an hour ago to celebrate Zebec's debut at XRP Las Vegas, we've teamed up with Tangem on a limited edition XRP Las Vegas Tangem X Zebec Network cold wallet. Like, what is this? I'm just getting so frustrated. This is just so annoyed. I won't click on this. But I guess this is what they're selling here. To qualify, use the same email from a giveaway. Sign up when purchasing. The winners will be announced March 31st. And I guess they're throwing an XRP logo on there. Like, what is this, bruh? Like, I'm sorry. Like, we have to ask questions here. This is not okay. Yeah, no. Like, no, this isn't legit. And I just feel highly disrespect. Tangem, let's fucking go. Tangem, you just sold more white labeled wallets. I'm sure you don't care. Right? You can throw literally whatever you want on here. This is just crazy to me. I had to snap. This is just crazy to me. After this episode is over, I really have a few jobs to do, right? I still have to push the idea that we don't want Zebec speaking at XRP Las Vegas. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. I don't know what you want me to say. But in addition to that, we need to start reaching out to people in crypto, like more journalists and stuff. I want to write an article, so please keep an eye out for some articles as well coming out. But I'm not playing. And I'm sorry that I have to be the one to do this. But you guys, every dog has its day. And I think it's time to find a new liquidity farm. Right? Go to another one, please. You guys are smart enough to go do some other shit. Get away from Zebec. The time is over. It's over. It's done. Nada. And I just think we all need to really usher in a better time for crypto, a cleaner playing field. This is not clean money. This is not good money. And I have questions directly for Sam. I have questions directly for Uphold and a lot of questions for the community still. And we will not stop asking questions. But since my last episode, this is just some of the information that has come up. and we will continue to get more and more information. We will withhold what we need to withhold, and we will move forward. And I will not stop until we know the truth, because again, I'll say it again, it is my belief that Galen LeCun and Sam Thapalaya are still out there, still running this thing, and they're still going strong. And I think that is bad for the crypto community as a whole. And we see with Uphold connections, like, this is not good. All right. Uphold has a lot of questions to ask. Maybe I have to go straight to the legal team and ask them, because at this point, this is an investigation, and it will turn into a bigger investigation. There's no way I submitted that IC3 and I won't get a call back. So with all due respect, guys, we're going to try and lighten up the end of this episode a little bit, but some crazy stuff is yet to be uncovered, and some crazy stuff has going on. But we can talk about the fake partnerships all we want. We can talk about fake this and fake that all we want. Guys, the very people who are peddling this shit is fake. All right? They have bot farms all over the place. It's ridiculous. And when you pierce through the real narrative and you start speaking truth, like myself, they will attack you for it. But the algorithm will not astroturf truth to this extent, right? Like, I am speaking too many facts for them to astroturf this. So this is where we're going to go ahead and move forward. I appreciate each and every one of you who have helped me along the way. Please make sure to tap into my X, tap into my Medium account. I'll leave links in the description below, in the comments below. But let's go ahead and wrap up this video and put a nice bow on the end of this thing. And I will catch you guys on episode 4. You feel me as well. But let's wrap this up.
This is episode 13, and we have an amazing guest today, and he's the founder and CEO of Zebec. And yeah, welcome. And it's nice to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome, yeah. Man. Go ahead. Go on.
Yeah. Welcome to our podcast, man. Thank you so much for coming, and we really appreciate you coming over to our podcast, taking some of your time off your work, and just being here, man.
Of course. I'm happy to be here. It was very nice of you guys to reach out. So, and also I looked in some of your podcasts. So I was like, you know what? Like, what is the worst thing that can happen?
No. We're all about providing value and stuff like that. So, we want to highlight what you're doing, and just, coming from Nepal, so all of us here, we come from a very diverse, background. We both have a refugee background, and, and you have a different background of where you come from. So it's like, it's very inspiring to see another Nepali, right? So we just want to root for you, and,
Yeah, man. It's very exciting.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Hey, Sam. So why don't you tell us about yourself and what do you do now, where you're living, and just a little bit about yourself for our audience.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm Sam. I was born in Nepal. I grew up in this part in Chitwan called Barapur, which is in the southern. It's near Narayan River. And after my 10th grade, I went to Kathmandu, stayed there for a couple of years. Took 2 years off after the earthquake. Then came to States. Only went to school for like few months. Then I started a company, learned a lot. Then I started a new company, and the current company is called Zebec. It's a money streaming protocol on Solana. We have raised around $40 million. We have almost 50 people working for our company. And just working hard now. I venture partner a few funds and working to incubate quite a lot of companies these days. So all in all, just came from Nepal and just working for a startup. That's kind of my background.
That's great. Yeah, we're all from Nepal. I never been to Chitwan before, but I have been to Kathmandu. So it's great over there. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your company? Like, what exactly do you do with that company? What is it for? Like, what is the purpose?
Yeah. So Zebec is a token streaming protocol on Solana. It's a very sexy way of saying, instead of sending money as a one-time thing, we can send it by the second. So the way of thinking about that is, let's say, Ashish bro here works for a company, he makes $1 million a month, and instead of receiving $500,000 every 2 weeks, imagine he gets that money every single second in his wallet, right? So why it's important? Well, if you receive money once every month, then at the end of the year, you have $12 million. But once every second, it starts to compound faster, and faster compounding always helps you to get more money at the end of the time, right? It's a time value of money. So instead of compounding every 2 weeks, now you're compounding every single second. So that's kind of what we are doing. And our idea is we want to transform how payments are done, because every single thing in the world is based on payments, right?
Right.
The concept of yield, lending, borrowing, everything in the world is based around based around how you are paid. So our idea is, how do we transform the base layer of payment itself so that on top of that we can see additional primitives that are going to be built on top of it. So it's a very, very sexy way of saying, we just make money flow like a stream. That's what we do.
Yeah, for sure. Like, when I first
Yeah, yeah, we really let the liquidity flow out the back door. We really do. We really do.
found out about you, and I didn't know if you're real, to be honest with you. Like, when I was talking to you on Twitter and stuff like that, I was like, oh wait, like, is this legit? And so, and then I slowly, like, did more research, and then I was like, oh, okay, he's legit. And and it's so amazing because us, like, Sagat and myself, we're more towards in real estate, right? And there's no Nepali out there. I mean, I don't know, because I think it's lack of opportunity as well in Nepal, because it's being third world country. But someone who also has come here as an international student or just a student in general, never started thinking about opening a company, or being a CEO of a company, because yes, we have that, as a refugee myself, as a refugee, we both have refugee background, but we do have that entrepreneurship, that spirit. But we never thought about, like, okay, like, we need to go and, like, do something in the crypto industry, right? And so my question to you is, like, what sparked you? Like, okay, I need to do this.
So actually, this is not my first company. This is actually my third venture-backed company, right? So my first company was in, like, B2B company. Fourth company, third in which I had actually raised money. First one I built, like, back home in Nepal, didn't work out. Then I started another company, had a small exit. And I started an AI company, actually, when I first came here, I started an AI company, right? I raised $2 million when I was in college. I took like 1,500 VC calls. There was a time in which in a month of 2020 May, I was taking calls from 6 a.m. in the morning to all the way up to 1 a.m. I took calls from VCs from Europe, Middle East, Singapore, every single parts of the world. And yeah, and then last year, like, I left the company because that was a perfect time for me to grow out of it. And I started Zebec because like, just saw how the ecosystem was growing. And the idea was, like, when I first came here, I wrote a research paper that at some point in the future, money will be self-driving like cars, right? And no one really understood what I was talking about, because look, there was no concept of smart contract back in 2017. It was, few companies were there, but no one was really understanding, like, what the hell is the smart contract, right? But I was like, hey, if smart contracts are going to exist, then it will enable these primitives. And one of the primitives that I was talking about was money will go in from one pool to another pool and come back as more money. Your $100 will go in and come back as $110, right? And the one of the finance professor I know, I was talking to, he was like, dude, it makes no sense. Why? Like, what are you doing, right? And last year, like, when I was talking with some of my friends, just like the idea popped back again. And the idea was like, what are the things that does not make sense in the world? There are a lot of things. And one of the things it does not make sense is payroll, because you work for 14 days, someone pays you day 17, and no one can explain you why. That's in the US. In countries like Nepal, you're never paid sometimes. I know back in because I grew up in the Nepali Civil War time, right? 3 months, 4 months, money does not come in. Like the saddest part is like the social security that, like, Nepal, what we call the Bridha Bhatta, right? That's what we call it, but it's a social security. It comes in once every 4 months. Like, imagine being a 75-year-old, like, my grandfather is 92, right? And he gets so happy every time he gets it. It's like few $100, right? But still, he gets so happy. He's like, I worked hard in this country. I paid all my taxes. I paid all my dues, and I get the money. But he gets once a 4 month, right? Yeah. And there are a lot of cases that these like elderly age person, right? They pass away, and their social security money arrives. So these are the things that happens, right? Because there's no way the money can go continuous. So that's when we started researching and realized that it's a problem, because the system has designed that money should be stuck in the banks so that banks can earn more money, right?
Yeah.
And the companies earn money, right? Like, your money should be in your pocket, should not be in someone else's bank account.
100%.
Right? So that's why we thought about, like, building this, and it's been going well. We have expanded to quite a lot of ecosystem. A lot of people are using it. So let's hope like, one day everyone in the world is paid using Zebec.
100%. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's very, very exciting, man.
Bruh.
You're giving me a lot of education on things that I didn't know before, especially in being in Nepal as a refugee. I didn't know they had security back there.
Well,
Social security.
So glad you said that. But me, because I actually went to, so I went to, because I like to help people and stuff like that. That's something that I love doing. And I actually went back in 2019, and we went to from house to house in a village, and they actually talked about this, and it was like wait, what, really? And then it was kind of sad for sure. So that's how I found out about the breathe about that and all that. So
Yeah, I didn't know about this. But yeah, man, looks like you said you opened 4 different companies. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what had you wanted to start your own business from the start?
Well, I think the starting point was because I grew up in middle of nowhere, in middle of nothing, right? So every year you hear the news that Narani entered the people's land, and a lot of people's houses were taken away by Narani River. Well, they're talking about my hometown. They're talking about my town, like my village, right? So I grew up in that place. 200 meters left of my house, 200 meters right of my house were slums, right? One of them were like 800, like 400 to 800 house like slum, and the other one was like 300, 400 houses, right? So I grew up in the middle of nothing, and when you grow up in something like that, you have the perspective like, look, there's a huge chance that I was going to die as no one, right? Why not do the best? Why not do why not swing for the fences and do something big? Because everyone in Nepal will go for the normal job. Everyone will try to have a normal life, But I grew up in a place where there was no opportunity. So now that I at some point I realized that I could do big things in life, and I was like, you know what? If I have this power of doing something big, I should not be doing it for myself. I should be doing for like the kids that I grew up in my hometown, right? Like the people that are going to be like that, whose story are never going to be told, right? And I think my entrepreneurship career is a story of people who were born in that part of the town, right? The people who grew up in the civil war in Nepal, people who lost their houses during the earthquake, people who lost their land during the flood in Narani every year. So that's the story of that. And it's just that I just didn't want to die. My mother used to tell me this since I started school when I was 2.5 years old, and my mom used to be like, look, we didn't went to school. We are probably going to die as no one. No one in the world will probably know us, but not you. Everyone in the world will know you. She would say that every single day for me before I go to school. Wow. And that had a very, very, strong impact in me. And for me, that actually is like my driving force, that one day, everyone will know me.
Yeah, Sam, honestly, I'd have to agree. I think one day everyone will know your name. You will have a household name, that of FTX, that of SBF, that of the lady behind OneCoin, right? That's what I think, but that's just my opinion, so I could be wrong. But Sam, keep that in the back of your head, that you've always wanted your name to be known across the entire world, because you might get that wish. It might not be the wish you really wish for. Thank you.
I'm the cipher inside the system, encrypted rhythm, algorithmic wisdom. Bankers panic when I twist the prism, cause I decentralize the mechanism. Ledger lock, my code immaculate. Truth so sharp it decapitates, no fiat fate, lie emancipate. XRP flow, recalibrate. Invisible king with a digital throne. Phantom of finance, flesh and bone. I rise from data, self-made, self-known. Unshaken, I move in the zone. They manipulate, I meditate. They inflate, I innovate. They speculate, I educate. I'm the glitch they can't eliminate. Raw as crypto, masked in motion, riding the wave like quantum motion. XRP devotion, pure explosion. Phantom of finance, fully rose as crypto. Chain reaction, breaking control, pure satisfaction. No middleman, just interaction. Rebel of rhythm, blockchain faction. From Tokyo ticks to London trades, my name echoes in crypto raids. I'm the anomaly markets crave, silhouetted in code, I misbehave. Monetary matrix, I override. Quantum ink where the truth can't hide. They kneel to debt, I walk with pride. No face crypto, decentralized guide. Every drop of fun, I distill the flame. Every smear campaign fuels the game. They'll remember the ghost, not the name. Cause legends don't chase, they claim. Oh, ledger ignite. Phantom in flight. Man so bright. Can't see me, but feel my mind. No face crypto, phantom protocol. Standing tall while empires fall. Central chains can't cage it all. Unshaken faith, I break the wall. No face trickle, though immortal. Through digital doors, I breach the portal. Untraceable force, transtemporal. Phantom of finance, suitin' and racks. No face trickle. No banks, no borders, no masters. Just vision and velocity. The world's asleep, but the phantom never rests street.